lives. Their gentle, trusting presence becomes a dependable part of our daily routine. They share our meal times and befriend us as playmates. They are with us on outings and adventures, and they accompany us in moments of quiet introspection. We sense the warmth of their affection and the depth of their loyalty, forming emotional bonds that can be as strong and nurturing as any other in life. When these attachments are broken, we can experience a sense of emptiness and loss. We may feel depressed, numb, lost, or angry. For some people, the death of a pet may represent the greatest loss they have ever encountered. Not long ago, a college professor wrote to tell me about some informal research he had conducted at the university in West Virginia where he had taught for many years. It was his custom there to begin his introductory psychology classes by asking students to write down memories of their happiest or saddest moments. Among women, he found, the saddest events usually concerned the death of a grandparent or another close relative. For young men, rather curiously, the saddest memories typically involved the death of a dog. He said he was never able to fully probe that response to account for the gender difference. What was striking was that when asked to recall their deepest personal sorrow, so many young adults would hark back to the death of a pet. Acknowledging loss and the feelings that go with it are an essential part of healing. Expressions of grief are the way we move through our pain toward acceptance and resolution. We need the opportunity to cry, shout, or shake our fists if we feel like it. All healthy forms of catharsis and emotional release. It hurts, and we need to say so. Even more, we need to have our feelings affirmed by others. Of course, no one else can fix what's wrong. There are no magic words anyone can utter that will fill the gap left when a good friend dies. Pets would be petty indeed if their loss could be so easily overcome. But while no one else can take away our grief, the care and concern of others ensures that we need not mourn alone. Knowing that others have wrestled with similar losses makes our own sorrow easier to bear. Still, we may feel a little sheepish about sharing such a vulnerable part of ourselves. A reservation can arise, an inner doubt. Won't other people think it odd to become so distraught over a mere animal? Some might consider it laughable. The humorist Garrison Keillor, for example, once wrote a comic sketch about a judge in a poetry contest who had to read through barrelfuls of bad verse, including some fairly amateurish elegies for departed critters. But even Mr. Keillor seems to understand that losing a pet can be wrenching, and that there is nothing particularly funny about it. To his credit, he has written his own poem, In Memory of Our Cat Ralph. Here is an excerpt. When we got home, it was almost dark. Our neighbor waited on the walk. "I'm sorry, I have bad news," he said. "Your cat, the gray-black one, is dead. I found him by the garage an hour ago. Thank you," I said, "for letting us know." We dug a hole in the flower bed, the lilac bushes overhead, where this cat loved to lie in spring and roll in the dirt and eat the green, delicious first spring buds, and laid him down and covered him up. Wrapped in a piece of tablecloth, our good old cat laid in the earth. We quickly turned and went inside the empty house and sat and cried softly in the dark some tears for that familiar voice, that fur, that soft weight missing from our laps, that we had loved too well perhaps, and mourned from weakness of the heart, a childish weakness to regard an animal whose life is brief with such affection and such grief. If this is foolish, Keillor writes in the final stanza, so be it. But it is not foolish or childish, merely human. Our sense of loss deserves to be respected, not belittled. Fortunately, more and more counselors, clergy, and therapists